Oh, oh, oh. Hello everybody, welcome to Daddy's Game Time. I'm Leo and I'm accompanied by
Britt
and
Francisco.
Thank you everybody for joining us.
So enthusiastic.
Yes, very enthusiastic. I'm hyped up for today's show, guys.
What's that, Leo?
Adrenaline running through my veins right now.
Like you're trying to cut your wrist?
I'm like, what?
Something?
No, that's the adrenaline going like,
Oh.
like marching ants.
But if that were the case, I think it'd be running this way, like into
way?
you, not away from you.
Actually, doesn't the adrenaline come from like the heart?
It circulates your whole
I don't
entire
know,
body.
or the
Leo. You're
brain
trying
or
to get a little bit too specific here. I meant,
No, okay.
a joke.
Sorry guys,
Thanks for
let's try
telling me.
this again. What's up, dudes?
Not much. What's up with you? Pancho, what's going on over there?
Not much. I'm just responding to our friend Sal, Rick's brother. He posted a really funny status on his Facebook, and I don't think it's appropriate for me to share it here. So, I'm just gonna respond to him real quick, like.
Cool.
But meanwhile, why don't you let us know what happened? What's going on in your week?
Speaking of phones,
Speaking of phones, interesting story here. So apparently from our last episode last week, my phone started malfunctioning. So at first I started losing signal, and then all of a sudden it just came up with this no SIM card message on my phone. So obviously with no SIM, no service, so basically I got a tablet, I guess.
Okay.
So long story short, I gotta give props to T-Mobile. I like that service. That's who my carrier is. I'm a long-term customer, I guess is what they call me with them, and they hooked it up. They're gonna replace my phone out of warranty. All I'm paying is basically about $8.
Sweet.
awesome. That's pretty
Pretty
cool.
good, yeah. So what happened to your phone?
What did I just say, Pancho? The SIM card didn't work.
No, but didn't you mention something about the warranty? No, not the warranty. The defect recall or something or other.
Oh, I gotcha. So, according to T-Mobile, they stated that Samsung has officially, I guess, announced that a certain batch of their phones have defective soldering when it comes to the SIM card reader.
Samsung S4 Galaxy.
Galaxy S4, specifically for that model, yes. So I think it was something like the MEI, the last 6 digits ending from 00001, or last 5 digits. Something like that, all the way up to 65558, something like that. It's a huge range, so it's quite a bit of different products that are in that range.
58557.
There you go. So if that's one thing you want to look for, if you got a Galaxy S4
Check it out.
with your MEI ending in that range, you might have that problem. So get your warranty.
Cool.
Yep. And then in another news, you guys knew that we're going to go to Famicon. And
I hope you knew.
and we actually got word that we've been approved for a few interviews with a few of the guests of honor. And well, do you guys want to tell the audience who they are, so that maybe if they have any questions specific to them, if they know them, if they want to ask us something?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Pancho. Yeah, we have Christopher Smith.
He's awesome. He's a voice actor. He's done Lego Batman and many other games.
We have Cindy Robinson.
Lots of anime with that lady.
Patrick Seitz, not to be confused with Patrick Swayze.
Please don't confuse them.
He's done a lot of games. He's done World of Warcraft. Like my friend Rick here, is a big fan. And he's also done Call of Duty.
I thought I recognized that grunt, that I'm kidding.
And world famous cosplayer, Wind of the Stars.
I like your emphasis on the names there. It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. I'm telling you guys, I can interview Robert Downey Jr. right now.
Awesome.
If he walked through that door.
We already been over this, Leo. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we don't have enough pull. We don't have enough connections.
Oh,
yet.
somebody out there does.
Yet. Fans?
And the also world famous Chalk Twins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they used to do chalk art, I guess, apparently, and then they evolved and they also now do voice acting.
Voice acting, I believe, yeah.
It'd be
That's
very,
pretty
very
sweet.
interesting.
Yeah.
So if you guys know any of these people, if you guys would like any questions to be asked specifically to these guests,
Comments.
Yeah. Drop a comment.
Also,
Yeah.
we have our Twitter. We can
Right there.
follow us at That Is Game Time. And we have our Facebook, which is facebook.com/That Is Game Time.
Or through our website.
ThatIsGameTime.com.
how can we forget the website?
Yeah, don't forget the website.
So any news on the website?
Yeah, actually, we just finished updating with really, really important news about Attack on Titan. Do you guys know about that?
I love that series.
I've heard a little something about it.
Can't wait for the second season.
Yeah, it's been 2 years in the making. Now it's gonna be actually 3 years before we see the second season. For those of you that have not seen this series, it's actually very popular. It's actually extremely popular in Latin America as well. It's basically, the story goes something like this. Many, many years ago.
Oh, I was thinking of like a
Go a little something like that.
war,
Yeah,
time drift there.
So many years ago, there were these titans, which they're a lot like the Greek mythology titans, giants, and they started eating people for fun. Not even for sustenance, but just because it's fun. Eating
Like
people.
we do.
Exactly.
Well, not people, but
Yeah,
But,
we totally eat for fun.
But they almost, ate them all basically until like a few, lucky ones, I guess, found this city and started getting these big old walls, even taller than the Titans themselves, so that they wouldn't be able to go into the city. And I guess, fast forward to the present, 100 years have passed and nobody has seen any Titans anymore. So they think they're safe until, out of nowhere, a Titan comes and destroys the city.
oh,
Huge
Titan.
huge Titan.
Like bigger than the wall. So it's very interesting, the premise, and if you haven't seen the series, you have the perfect timing because it'll be another year until season 2 comes out, so it gives you the perfect timing to actually catch up on the 25 episodes, something like that. And there's also 2 movies, live action movies, inspired by the first season that are coming out in Japan, as well as a video game that came out yesterday, May 12th. So it's pretty awesome.
Attack on Titan.
Nice.
If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you don't care,
Recommended.
then go see it.
That is Game Time recommended.
all right.
He got the daddy seal of approval.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Cool. So what's all this stuff I hear about Rock Band 4?
Oh, dude, that's another big news. So apparently, I believe it was 2011, 2012. I don't know the specific dates, but Rock Band 3 was ceased to exist. Harmonix, the makers of Rock Band, said we're done. I mean, it's too expensive to upkeep the game, with the DLC, try to make deals with the music industry, be able to get the rights for the songs, and they're just like, we're done, we cannot handle this. And so they even released their last official DLC, which was Miss American Pie, the song, and that was basically used to say, we're done, goodbye, And then fast forward to now, and apparently there's gonna be a Rock Band 4. Now independently made by Harmonix, because back then it was also made by MTV Games, which
Yeah.
were the ones that putting the money and all this, and that's how we got so much plastic instruments, because they kept putting them out there, and I think that was one of the reasons why it kind of failed, because people didn't want to buy more plastic,
Equipment.
So now Harmonix has said that they're only releasing a limited amount, and they're allowing people who already own their own instruments to maybe find an adapter of sorts between the technologies, because it's only coming out for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So there has to be some kind of adapter between the PS3 and the PS4, Xbox 360 and Xbox One. And so they're working on that so that people don't have to buy more instruments. If you have to buy new instruments, they're releasing a very limited batch, and they're actually partnering with Mad Catz. Mad Catz will be the ones making the instruments, and they will be taking a sort of pre-order. They're asking people to sign up and say how many of them are interested in instruments, to kind of get an idea of how many they should make, so that there's not another flood of instruments. And so yeah, they're doing it independently. There's a lot of new features that I found out about the game. Like for example, back then the singing was very restricted to to the pitch waves, and now they're giving you the opportunity to like freestyle. In other words, be more like a karaoke type deal, but you will still be rewarded if you do it within the guidelines that they give you.
Range.
Okay.
So you don't have to be specific to that pitch. You can sing the song however you want to. Then another of the really neat things that they talked about was the drumming, because the song used to start with like 3, 2, 1, let's start, but now the drummer will actually be counting them in, like 1, 2, 3, let's go. So that's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. And there's gonna be another RPG feel to the game where like apparently it's gonna be very interesting, and whoever's played the game so far, mainly the people at IGN, I think they have a really good relationship with Harmonix, and IGN are doing like an exclusive coverage of all this Rock Band 4 deal. And so they said that the RPG element to the game is just amazing. So I don't know, I'm excited.
What exactly is the RPG element?
They haven't really said much. They're gonna do a live stream playthrough of the first showing of the game, official game, on Friday through IGN.com. So
because I imagine in real life, whether it be the drum or the guitars or singing on the mic, you as the player are the RPG element, because obviously the more you play, the better you get.
Well, yeah, no, but see, on Rock Band 3, there used to be this thing where like you start very, very low, like a very, very small venues, and as you keep playing, and then you keep advancing, and keep.
So it's mainly just like an unlock of more features, a variety of music styles.
Yeah,
okay.
more or less. So I don't know. I love Rock Band. We used to have Rock Band parties in my house.
Pretty fun.
Rock Band parties were awesome.
I remember those.
Now, I don't know if it's the same one or if it's a different version, or if maybe I understood wrong, but I heard that Rock Band was also going to do like a live, I don't know if it's going to be all live version kind of thing, where instead of the song is in the CD or you download it to your console, it's kind of like
just downloading.
You're just watching a music video and you're just playing along to the music video, kind of.
I think that's a different game.
Is it?
I don't think it's Rock Band. Rock Band specific. I think you're probably thinking more of what's the other game? Rocksmith.
Guitar Hero?
No, Rocksmith.
Rocksmith.
Because that one you plug in your own guitar, and then you get to learn guitar as you're going. On Rock Band 3, there was a feature called Guitar Pro, which you had to buy a specific guitar though. I think Fender made them, and they were like $150, $200 just for the guitar itself. And it came with an adapter that you had to plug in into the console, and it kind of teach you how to play guitar. It didn't really teach you though, because you still had to follow the bars coming on the screen, so it didn't really give you place your fingers here or whatever. Rocksmith, I think, does that more effectively.
Rocksmith, I have Rocksmith.
Yeah.
And Rocksmith is just a great tutorial game. I've had a lot of fun playing it, along with also learning some tunes on it. And the only thing I kind of sometimes wish that I would have had is, because I have almost like a regular style like dreadnought body guitar, which pretty much means it's an acoustic guitar, as opposed to an electric one. And I think the majority of those songs in there are meant more for electric guitar playing. Yeah. But either way, it's still a lot of fun. You learn a lot if you do it enough.
So
and
it's
very intuitive, and it's like easy to get into. But I already had a guitar background. I would like to find out how non-players or novices would be at just picking up the game and kind of getting used to some of those jams.
So is it more like Rock Band is play along, whereas Rocksmith is learn how to actually play?
Yeah, Rocksmith you learn, and Rock Band is play along.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I also heard Guitar Hero.
They might make a comeback.
Maybe that's what it was.
They're also in development.
Maybe it was Guitar Hero that I heard that was doing that.
But this time they're sticking with just like one instrument. as opposed to
Just
the
the
whole
guitar.
band.
Well,
They're
I mean, isn't
sticking
that
to
what they always
aspect
been,
of
just
it.
the guitar? Or did they...
No,
Towards the end, they
They
also
did-
had a band.
Well, yeah,
They
with
did
Rock
rock-
Band coming out, I'm
rock
pretty sure they
band.
said like, well, we gotta
Yeah.
up our ante here.
they called it Band Hero.
Band Hero.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember
They
that
did
now.
Band Hero, and I guess by that time it was like too little, too late because a lot of people were already kind of fed up with the.
But like how you
guitar playing
said,
games.
yeah, with all the equipment that you had to buy, once you bought it for one console or one game, you're not gonna really want to buy the whole set again for another
Exactly.
similar game. You know,
Yep.
you're gonna just go all out on one if you're gonna go all out that way. You know, but
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, it looks promising. They're excited. The people at Harmonix because now they're independently from MTV Games. Now they're doing whatever they want to do, like what they wanted to do in the beginning. When MTV told them like, nah, we can't do that. Things like that.
so they basically lost all the restrictions that they had and other free like
Yes.
soloing it and like the way they wanted to it ideally. That's good.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Cool. Well,
And then
good luck to
Harmonix.
Harmonix on that. Hopefully we'll have a lot more rock band parties coming up pretty soon.
Harmonix, if you're listening, we totally love to,
Yeah.
play on your new games, demo it. I'm not opposed to getting a guitar,
Reviewing it.
drum set sent to us. We could totally review it for
Yeah.
free. We'd totally do that for free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. So guys, moving on. What's all this I hear about Heroes Reborn?
Dude. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Enlighten us,
Oh,
Pancho.
dude,
Enlighten
it's
us.
like, okay, so,
Wait, hold on. Before you continue, let me just throw this out there.
okay,
Heroes, I thought was awesome. A lot of people commenting that the first season was the best, second was okay, third was crap.
yes.
I love superheroes. I thought the whole thing was awesome. So when they canceled it, I felt like punching someone.
Yeah, well, see, did you guys watch the Big Bang Theory?
The what?
Big
Bang
Bang Theory? I've seen one episode.
No, okay.
Actually, no,
Well,
I have not seen it.
well, last week's episode summarized it the best. Like Sheldon, the main character in the.
Yeah,
Oh, that guy.
Sheldon.
That guy.
He pretty much said like once you start with the show you have to commit, even if you don't know if it's gonna be good, you don't know if it's gonna be bad, but you have to stick with it from the beginning until the end. They mentioned Smallville. Smallville lasted 10 years, and during those 10 years there were seasons that were not
Correct.
so great, and then it kept going up, and now it's a big commitment. So when we started with Heroes, the first season, like you said, I loved the first season. It was something so different, and actually I think Heroes was the first show that I got into, leaving movies behind and focusing on TV shows. I think we were still focusing on movies. I don't think he's too much into TV shows that much yet. I don't think he's found the right show yet. That's the
No, I like watching The Walking Dead.
Okay.
And
well, yeah,
I like
yes.
watching Daredevil. I'm totally waiting for the next Daredevil season. But TV shows, like you said it yourself, big commitment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just, as a daddy, father of three, that's time I don't have exactly.
Yes and no, but because you watch them as they're airing or the next day or within the week or whatnot. I usually wait until they hit Netflix or something where it's like
Binge. Yeah.
long time and then I binge watch them.
Well, that's what happened with Heroes and me. Like, Heroes had already been on for like maybe 2 years prior to when I found them. I found them on Netflix. I started watching the first episode. I'm like, I keep hearing this thing about Heroes. I'm like, all right, watch the first episode, hooked. Watch the second, third, fourth, like the same day. And I was like, this is so freaking awesome. Season 2 was cut short because of the writer's strike back in like 2005, I want to say, something like that. And so they didn't really made it,
It was a little bit later than that.
Yeah.
But somewhere around there.
they didn't do it justice. And so they had to cut it down weirdly because, like, you remember, Peter's girlfriend, he took her to the future or something and he just left her there and nobody
Yeah.
really said anything about that. It's like, what the heck?
That's totally the number one way on how to get rid of your ex.
Exactly. so they had a lot
Take
of
him to the future.
loopholes.
Take him to the future.
They had a lot of loopholes like that because they didn't know how to fix them.
Oh, one of the loopholes that pissed me off so much
What?
was Hiro when they I think it was him going off against Ando, I think. He was the
when
badass
he was
ninja
bad,
and Ando
yeah.
with his power.
And they never resolved that.
And yeah, I was like,
how he got powers.
what the hell happened there?
Exactly.
Like, I totally wanted to see Ando and Hiro going at it and why they were going at it, and they just like Never answered that question.
No, but he had his moments, like, you know, like the whole thing with Siler. Siler was like the biggest, the best character in the show, and then Hero, I believe. Peter was okay, but he was too whiny. He was always like, oh, I'm not sure, blah, blah, blah. Point is, they didn't know how to handle a great series to give it a proper ending. And after, like, I think it was the 4th season when they went to the circus, whatever it was.
Wasn't that 3 seasons only?
I think that was the last season. When
that was the last one, but wasn't it only 3?
I don't even remember.
Or didn't they
It's been
split
so
the
long.
second season into like 2 seasons or something like that?
I
don't know.
couldn't tell yet.
But yeah, the whole circus thing was.
Yeah, that was just so bad. It's
kinda
like,
weird.
but every week we were there watching because we were expecting it to get better, and it's like, oh, this is just so bad. I don't know why I'm still watching.
Oh, man.
You know? And then it ends, and they're like, okay, because you know it ends. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, with Claire, you know, falling off from the like Ferris wheel, I think it is, or something or other, just showing that she heals. You know, pretty much exposing herself to the world. You know, saying like.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're
and it's like, okay,
amongst you.
maybe they can do better. But they canceled it because viewers weren't having it anymore.
Yeah.
And now, how many years has it been since? Since like 2009, I believe.
somewhere around there.
So it's been
And the
like,
writers are back. Yeah.
exactly. So it's been like 5-6 years, and now, you know, they announced Heroes Reborn out of nowhere too. It's like it's like I tell Rick, did you hear about this? Like, what the heck is it? You know. But now they have corrected the error. It's not gonna be an ongoing series. They're doing mini-series. It's already been set to like 10 episodes or so like that, of like an hour and a half, and it has a beginning, a middle, beginning, you know, an end. And so once it ends, that's it for those. Depending on what the people, you know, the response of the people, they might bring them back to another series or extend them to a regular show. So I think that's smart. Because that way...
So it's just kind of like testing the water. They're going to kind of introduce someone, a little bit about them, and just cut it off there.
And they have
if you
a
like
set story. You know,
then go further.
It's what we're talking about with other shows. Like, you know, they don't know what to do with the story. They get the pilot out there, and it's like, all right, you're approved. You have to be writing episodes every week. With Heroes Reborn, the way it is made now, they already know how it's going to end. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to like, oh crap, now what do we do? You know, oh, people seem to like this character. We have to give them more screen time. You know, it already end. You know,
Right.
And the guy from Chuck is going to be in there. Hero is returning.
Sweet.
Who else is returning?
Yeah,
The
Nakamura, I think.
Yeah, the Haitian is returning, and someone else. The ones that are not returning is Siler and Peter, which were one of the biggest ones.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Peter was a younger brother or the older brother?
The younger one.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's the one that could absorb everyone's powers.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't want to return. They don't want to put him in there, or they as the actors don't want to be part of
Maybe
it?
the actors. Well, Siler's become pretty popular. Zachary Quinto, I think is his name. He's had a lot of roles. As we know, he's the younger Spock in the new Star Trek series. So he's kind of had a little more,
He's got some fame.
Exactly.
Rapport
Exactly.
in the geek circles.
Yeah, so now it's kind of like, I don't hear.
Dude, he'd get like worshippers if he came back.
Yeah, he would, actually. And who knows, maybe if the show does well, he'll come back.
True. Maybe, I mean, yeah, if this is like a beginning just to kind of play it out and test it out, who knows what it'll be
You
in
know, a
another year or
little
two.
tangent here. You know what show I'd like to see back? The Thundercats animated show. You know?
It came back though, and then it got canceled.
No, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, the new one?
The one I think that was released in 2011.
Oh, that one was so good.
It was so
they
good.
managed it so well.
And the story was more mature.
and with the same characters.
with the
which
same
is what's
characters
awesome.
I think I only saw like one episode.
Oh,
of
you need
that.
to watch it.
Oh man, well, you need to watch it, but at the same time, don't watch it, because then you're gonna be ticked off at the end, because
Like,
you know it got
there's not gonna be
canceled.
a
There's not gonna be
resolution.
a continuance of how that ended.
Once it hits Netflix, I'll totally watch it.
Oh man, that one was so good,
It was
dude.
good, yeah.
And please, anybody out there, help.
We want Thundercats.
We want that Thundercats back to be continued and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good. Yeah.
But we got some good TV coming. So
Yeah.
that's always great.
So movies and series, oh man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Couch potato for like the next decade.
Oh man. For real, though.
Well,
Yeah.
finally, before we go, we have a little topic to discuss.
Yeah. So
I made a video.
okay. So wait. Well, first of all, we're gonna let's explain this. We've been doing these Daddy's Advice segments, but in each segment we end up just saying like, it's not really advice. It's just like, what do you do? You know. But we didn't know what to.
Because we're not certified psychiatrists.
Yeah,
We
or
cannot give
doctors,
advice.
or grandparents.
Grandparents.
Why do you bring the grandparents back?
Hey, grandparents have a
It's
wealth
true,
of
but-
advice.
Okay.
Not always.
No, I said
Not
I
always.
said advice, not good advice.
Good. Oh,
They just have advice.
they have some kind
Like,
of advice.
regardless of what it is, they have advice.
True.
Most of the time, it's pretty good advice, though. I have that. to
Yes.
say. Most of the time.
Yes.
But every once in a while, you get one of those where you just didn't take your meds today, Grandpa. You know.
So, Daddy's advice is now.
So, Daddy's advice is now.
Drum roll? No, no drum roll. No, that's not really a surprise.
Oh, there you go.
It's not really a surprise.
It's Daddy talk.
Daddy
Daddy
talk.
Tap.
So, my buddies Rick and
Francisco.
Francisco.
Why'd you say my name? That was supposed to be me.
It's true.
Rick.
Okay. They were having a few weeks back. We were just chilling, eating some pizza like Ninja Turtles, and
Old turtle.
we had one of these conversations where it's like, should kids play these classic games? Should they? Because you know, we were hearing about how there's some people that believe they absolutely should, and it's the way to do it so that they can appreciate it. And then there's the other train of thought where it's like, nah, they don't have to do that to appreciate the newer games. Well, we'll start with you, Francisco. What do you think? What's your train of thought?
We
what
were
do you plan on doing?
actually playing Mario Kart at your house, if I remember correctly. and
Yeah, I
you
don't
girls
remember
were playing
pizza,
with us.
Leo. I don't know where you got pizza from.
Oh, no, the pizza was last week. Huh?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and your girls
Thanks
were playing
for
with
the
us.
pizza, by the
Yeah,
way.
you're welcome.
And thanks for the soda, man. That's
I
good.
still have some soda.
Yeah? Dude, what am I doing drinking water then?
Seriously, freaking holding out on us.
Oh, I just spilled it on the floor.
So we're playing, and it was really fun because it's like, oh, you know, your girls are playing with us, and this is fun, even though they're losing, because you know, Rick was pretty much beating them. So
What are you
we got
talking about?
set.
I remember I had that console, and I was just pressing the not the
The
console,
horn.
the gamepad.
Oh,
whatever
that's
it's called.
right.
For the Wii U.
And I was just honking the crap out of that thing.
You're all the whole time.
Honking.
It was so annoying.
Yeah.
Honking
so
for
it
the
was
Mario
funny, though.
Kart.
So I tell Leo, I was like, oh, this is fun, you know, playing with the kids and everything. And it's like, nah, but I think it'd be really cool though if you taught her, you know, how to play the old Mario and all those games. And I think you mentioned like, oh yeah, just play them, you know, once in a while.
Yeah, we play them
And it's
sometimes.
like, oh, okay, cool. And then I said, yeah, because I think kids should play these games before getting into the more graphically advanced games. And Rick's like, why? And I'm like, because, dude, it's awesome. They learn to appreciate the classics, and they also, you know, see the history of how they evolved into what they are now. But he's like, no, that's not that whatever, you know. It's like, why have them play what was available to you, to us, when they have what is available to them? Basically saying like, that was your games. Kids now should have their games. Which I don't think I agree so much on it. It's kind of like movies, you know? It's like you appreciate the classic as well, even though they weren't made for you. I mean, Star Wars wasn't made for me, and I love Star Wars. So that's exactly what I meant by it. So we did this little experiment.
By we, you.
Yeah,
Wii
with my
Wii
niece.
U?
Exactly.
Yeah, good one.
'Cause-
Good one. That's a good one.
No, but I think
no
you gotta
pun,
censor that out.
No pun intended.
You gotta censor that out.
Although it was intended.
So, you know, I don't have a kid of my own, so I borrow my niece, and she graciously accepted to play games that I played as a kid. And I was like, oh, let's check it out. And if you want to check out that video, you can click right here, and it'll take you to that video. But moving on, basically, she enjoyed them. You know, she thought it was great. She played Sonic, and almost immediately she picked it up. I mean, you can see in the video, it's like, oh, it's like very easy, like, let's go. the graphics aren't that bad. They're still good for, what was it, 1991 when it came out?
I think it was released in 91 or 92.
Yeah, so way before her, her time. The next one she played was, I don't remember, Pinocchio.
It was
Yeah.
Pinocchio.
And then Earthworm Jim,
And Earthworm
which is
Jim.
more difficult, and she got frustrated with that one, but she kept playing, which is the good thing about it. It's like she didn't give up. She's like, oh no, this is crap, bye,
She was committed.
Exactly, that's what I mean. So that's what I think games back then gave you that, you need to beat this, you need to actually pass this game, and it's not as easy as today's games. It's more like, oh, if you die, don't worry, because you keep going in the same spot, or you can save your progress, or save it in your memory card, and come back to it later. Games back then were not that forgiving.
They were difficult.
Start, exactly.
They were difficult.
And so my thought was that, Rick said, they're not going to enjoy them. And I'm like, oh, we'll see then. And she seemed to enjoy them. And that's why I said that Rick was wrong, but apparently that's not what he said. So why don't you tell us what you said, Rick?
What I see, what had happened was, when we were talking about this, I do agree that those are classic games. Those are awesome games. For us, this was like, that's how we got into video games.
Part of our childhood.
Exactly.
Exactly. That was our childhood. The level of difficulty, graphic-wise, how they looked, that was like our era. Yeah, totally. Oh, I love that duck hunt game. Then trying to control the ducks while someone else shoots at them.
And then the dog laughs at you when you miss.
So, I bet you tried shooting at the dog.
Do it every freaking time.
So, my point on this was, yes, those were awesome games for us, but it's not like a requirement for the kids of now's generation to play these games.
Right.
I will say, and I will admit, that what we have now is in history because of that existed in the past. These games are now what they are now because of that. I don't deny that. But for a kid to have to play that to appreciate this game, I don't think so, because those elements came from that and are now in this game. But the level of the difficulty, yes, it's totally different. These are a lot more easier, quicker little games, funner, family-oriented or whatnot, than as opposed to Mega Man and trying to remember a pattern of how to jump in a certain sequence so that you don't get hit and knocked off a ledge kind of thing. Yeah, those are hard games. Definitely hard. Do they have to play them to be able to play these games? No, because if you give a kid a tablet, if you give a kid a controller, just like your niece, she had no idea how to play that Sonic game, but she got it like that. It didn't require the skills of those games because, as you said, it's just two buttons, jump and shoot, basically. Now these games are moving in I don't know how many different directions. I don't know how many button key configurations or combos. So they pick this up. They get it. They learn it because they're interested in it. Whether they like the previous games or not, it's not really like a requirement that they have to know how to beat those games or play those levels so that they can appreciate what they got. In a way, the way I guess that I would best summarize it is, if we didn't have those games in our childhood, if we had these games in our childhood, and then our kids, whatever it advances to in the future, whatever it is that they have, they don't have to play these games to play those games, because the same thing, they're just going to pull from this long line of games that happened before, and all those elements are going to be already there.
Yeah, but I see your point, and I do agree too, to an extent. But my reasoning was behind all this is that I believe that kids who play the classic games have a little more appreciation that, and maybe more skills when it comes to playing the newer games. Because compared to those, the newer games, they're nothing. You know, they're like, oh, I passed Mario Brothers the Lost Levels. You know, what is this thing gonna do to me? You know, it's I don't know. I think it's just easier for them
the older
to pick them
games
up.
do require a lot more hand-eye coordination in a way.
Yeah.
And the newer games, well, there's some exceptions where, like the Call of Duties, they require like twitch reflexes.
But that's not really a kid game.
And that's what I mean. But you don't want your kids to play those.
Right.
And then back then you have something similar, like you were talking about the duck hunt. That's a perfect example. Like, you know, just, you know, you develop a good, you know, eye-hand coordination right there. And it's not that violent because you're hunting. So that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Shoot the dog. No, but I mean, if my kid were to say, I want to play those games. Yeah, okay, of course, go ahead. It's not like I'm gonna deny him.
Play them. They're not for you.
It's gonna mess you up so bad. You know, if they wanted to, if I was playing one and you know, whatever game it is, and if he saw me playing it and he wants to play, of course, yeah, okay, cool, have fun. I'm not gonna deny it and say no, you can't play that. Play your own games. But I can say, at least for my son, I swear at times he has ADD. He's like moving on from game to game. Some of these are gonna bore him because it's the same thing where you just jump or shoot, and to him it's kind of like, I did this 5 minutes ago and I'm doing this again on the next level. It's like...
But see, that's the difference. Your boy has already played newer games, and that's what I'm getting at. Like in my experiment with my daughter, I don't think I'm gonna let her play the newer games until she's done playing the older ones. That's what I mean, you know?
Was it you that were talking about that some guy made his...
Leo said that.
Was it you?
Yeah.
What?
That some guy made his son or daughter play all
yeah, that was an article on Kotaku. Yes, there was a man that had his son play like the essential games for each era, like starting with Atari, then NES, SNES, etc. And the kid, I guess he got really good at games, and he finally caught up to modern day games like 5 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, just until you master this game, you move to the next one.
Yeah.
See, but like the way that I would imagine, like if something like that were to happen, like if we did that to one of our kids, what I would imagine is gonna happen is they're gonna see it more of a chore than it is a...
Dude, did you not see my niece playing Sonic? That was not a chore for her.
No, I'm talking about that they can't play their games.
Oh no,
they have to play.
you're already done. You cannot do that to your kids anymore. You already spoiled them
even
to the newer games.
Even if it was something that they like that article, the kid was never exposed to the newer stuff. Started from scratch from the beginning. I think they would feel more of like this is a chore, a homework, I guess, if you will, as opposed to like, oh, I saw this really cool game. Because they're gonna see or they're gonna hear about something going on in some game in some way or form, and they're gonna want to explore it more, but they're not gonna be able to do it. You have to go all the way back here to before 8-bit gaming, and you're gonna have to do that before you can get all the way over here. They're gonna be like, crap, I don't want to do this. I'm just gonna go play outside.
Well, I mean, it depends on
your daddy advice.
Exactly. And maybe that's what you want ultimately, It's like you either play a game, which is going to be this really hard, difficult game, or go play outside. It's like, all right, going outside.
Start them off with Battletoads.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
After the first time, I give up.
So who knows? It might work in your favor then,
Oh, man.
No, but either way, any game that you choose for your kids, I think just make sure that they're rated for the kids.
Appropriately.
Because sometimes I see kids playing, GTA or Mortal Kombat, things like that, and just like, oh my God, why did your parents buy you this game when it clearly says M for mature?
I remember when I was like 11 and 12 years old, my teachers used to say, your parents let you play Mortal Kombat? And I'd be like, yeah? What's wrong with that?
Exactly. Because they had no idea.
So
yeah, on that same note, parents, don't let your kids play because it annoys me. When you're trying to play and all of a sudden you get all these chats going on,
and the little kids
voice recordings, and they're trying to be funny with playing music videos or all this in the background.
Yes.
Watch your kids.
Watch them.
You.
Be a parent.
Be a parent.
Be a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is that gonna be it for?
I think so. I think
the
I'm
daddy talk
satisfied
about
with
this
that
topic?
answer from Rick.
I think I think that was a good daddy's talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, we're not against each other. We're not against those. We're just like, this is my point of view, that's his, and I believe both are valid.
Yeah. I think, and I think it's kind of funny. Like, I agree with you, and I agree with you.
there
So
you
I'm
go.
kind of like somewhere in the middle. Well, literally right now, but
You're like a sandwich of the daddy's
but
talk.
like regarding this particular topic, I'm like, you know what? I'll be playing the modern games. I'll let my kids play the modern games, and then I'll go back to the classics sometimes. My particular favorite era was the NES and SNES era. where I'll just go back and I'll play Lion King again, like over and over and over again. I'll play that game.
Remember Aladdin?
Aladdin is a great game. I'll always go back and play this game right here.
Dude.
Super Mario. That's one of my favorites of all time.
I love showing off.
I like how you picked that game up with such ferocity.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
I love playing that game and showing off to people, going to the war pipes, because they don't know that. It's like, oh, you know.
Like, how did you know that? And Pac-Man's the other one.
One of the hardest things to this day, well, I haven't tried in years, but one of the hardest things in this stupid game, well, good game.
The 100 lives?
The lives. Oh man, I could like 1 in 10 chance that I could get that trick.
No man, I played it so much that I could just like get to it and boop 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 boop.
You just leave the button pressed. It's a jump button, you leave it pressed and it does it on its own.
I've heard of people saying that. I've never got it to do it while leaving it pressed. I've tried it a bunch of times, but I never got it to do it that way. I had to just time it, and I had it just down perfect. I could probably still do it like if I tried it. And yeah, I haven't played Mario in it's been a long time.
Very long time.
Yeah.
It's overdue for a Mario.
Yeah, man.
Mario-thon.
Yeah, a Mario-thon.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so I just want to talk about one little thing real quick. Can I talk about something? I won't take up too much time.
Sure.
The Nintendo deal to have a theme park with Universal, I mean, a theme attractions. Oh man, that's gonna be awesome. I've always thought about it this way.
I have mixed feelings.
Nintendo is considered the Disney of video gaming. And I've always thought like Nintendo has enough assets that they can go ahead and actually build a park, not as big as Disneyland, but they could build a park, and because they got the Mario characters, they got the Donkey Kong characters, they got like the F-Zero stuff, they got
Falcon Punch,
so much other stuff, like so much other even characters that I can't even name. I don't know how many hundreds of Pokemon they're up to right now, but
probably like 1,000.
Can you imagine walking into a park and it just be nothing but Nintendo themed stuff? If it's done right and if they have the budget to do it, I think that going with Universal is going to be good, but Universal, usually I see them as aimed more towards like young adults to adults.
Yeah, there's not much kids
stuff
where going on.
They kind of leave the fantasy aspect out of many of their attractions, whereas Disney, that's what they do, baby. Fantasy. That's what Disney does, baby.
But is it more towards of like a ride? Well, with the Nintendo theme?
Check this out.
Or is it like a Toonsland kind of thing?
I think I know exactly what's going to happen. In Florida, I've been to the Universal Park in Florida. They have this section, it's called the Islands of Adventure. It's just like a big theme park, and they have different islands. One of them is Jurassic Park, Harry Potter. They even have a Dr. Seuss land, and then another one, the one I'm talking about, the Marvel Superhero Island. Marvel is owned by Disney.
Oh.
But Marvel had a deal with Universal. Marvel had a deal with Universal way before Disney was even in the picture. And it pretty much states that they can have the superheroes however long they want to. So not even Disney can do anything about it. But the problem is that you go to Universal, it's like, oh look, it's Marvel, and it's like, oh, that'd be really awesome. Let's go do some more Marvel stuff, like watch a movie or something. You're basically just promoting the Marvel brand, and it's not even yours. So I think it's gonna come to a point where like they're just gonna take it down, and that's probably gonna be the new Nintendo Land.
Could be.
Hopefully. Now here in Hollywood, we don't have that luxury of space. Like right now they're struggling.
Plus right now they're building the Harry Potter.
I don't think it'll be here, but it's probably going to happen in Florida.
Either way, I'm just hoping it's just a small step in the right direction, and we'll get more out of it eventually. And I think it's big of Nintendo to finally kind of let the reins a little bit looser on their
stuff.
On their stuff.
Them out.
Because ever since that Mario movie debacle, That movie, I don't blame Nintendo for
Why
keeping
did you even have to bring
tight
that
reins.
up?
You know what? I gotta
because,
admit.
because that's the reason why Nintendo pulled the reins on so much stuff.
Remember how excited we were?
Yeah,
Like,
and
no,
they just ruined it. And then they sort of tried again to experiment and let others do something with their properties. And then they allowed Legend of Zelda on the CDI. Remember that console?
God.
And it was just completely terrible. It was just terrible.
I've never seen that Mario movie.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Dude, don't even, no, not even for curiosity. Don't.
I'm gonna watch it.
man.
I'm gonna watch
No,
it.
dude,
Just to get these guys.
No.
I'm gonna suffer just to
You're
get these
gonna
guys.
suffer, exactly.
Just to make these guys suffer even more.
He's gonna try to troll us and say like, "Oh, that movie was awesome, guys."
No, it's not.
No, man, but
It really isn't.
yeah, I think that's why Nintendo's kind of wary of allowing their properties out. But this is maybe a
Well,
pretty good
Universal
step.
did great with Harry Potter,
Uh-huh.
so I think that's what they're looking at. It's like, oh,
I hope so. I hope they get somebody
These
that can
guys know how to
nail
make
the
us
magic, the magic that is Nintendo, and capture the true essence of their video games. Not the essence of all the other stuff, but the video games, because that's what people fell in love with first.
it's true.
Well, regardless, if they make something, whether it's an adult or a kid, they're gonna love it. Kids because the games, us because of the memories or the nostalgia, the feeling of, you know, our childhood playing this stuff. And so either way, as long as they don't just make like this little quick cheapy ride, other than that, I'm sure they're gonna make something nice out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be good.
So with that, we're gonna wrap up our show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Leo with
Rick.
and
Francisco.
please remember, you can join us on our website at daddysgametime.com, on Twitter,
At Daddy's Game Time.
Facebook.
That is game time.
So thank you very much, and I'm just gonna sign off by reminding you to remember, like your games, love your family.